What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Y'all Heard podcast. I'm your host, Ella Burke, reporting live from my own closet with Mini Mike. We have some exciting news. We just moved locations as far as the studio goes, and we are doing some renovations currently. So hopefully we will be up and running about this time next week so I can actually give you video recording. I feel honestly even more naked than I do on video, just because you can't see the way I'm moving my face, hand gestures, everything that truly makes the damn show go on. So, I was away in London for like almost a week, so sorry for being MIA. Definitely need to get a little bit better at posting on the socials as well, but getting ahead of the learning curve, if you will. Just doing the best we can. But yes, we're going to do a little bit of a London recap and also just talk about what the hell has been going on in our world and in our country, and just kind of bit of a rant sesh. I'll be super honest, I don't feel like, given recent events and just everything that's been going on, that I've been in the headspace to record. I'm going to be releasing this the same day that I am recording it, but I feel like I've had to take some time to reflect, reminisce, figure out how exactly I'm going to address and talk about what has been going on, and just, craft my words in a way that I feel like I can really get my point across. But first, we'll start out with some lighter topics, some sunshine, rainbows, and dandelions and shit, if you will. Went to London. It was amazing. So much fun. Got to go with Carson, which was awesome. And day one, last time I went out of the country, I did not get jet lagged at all, but honestly, this time it kicked my ass. We took like a 4-hour nap as soon as we landed because, man, I've never flown first class because I'm not exactly in that tax bracket yet, but just wait, it's only up from here. But I can imagine after you do it once, I don't think you probably could go back to economy, because as someone that's flown really strictly economy all my life, oh, hell no, man. You can't even sleep on that thing, I'm telling you. And I mean, I need my long ass legs to have some room to stretch. I mean, it's just will not do. But no, those screens are pretty cool. I like how it shows the menu of what's going to be served and everything. And got to watch the whole Twilight series, so I feel like I'm really in that era of my life right now that a lot of people probably experienced in like middle school. But here we are. But no, flight mid. Once we got there, awesome. Had to nap, then got up, went and saw Hamilton. Hamilton and London, super ironic, I know, given the historical context of the whole story and how it plays out. The screams for King George and cheers and applause for him were probably a little louder there than they would have been here. But TBH, he ended up being one of my favorite characters. That guy's hilarious. But no, on a real note, I really enjoyed the show in its entirety. I never really was on the Hamilton hype bus until now, just because I'd never seen it and I'd honestly never taken the time to watch it. I mean, I am definitely a theater kid at heart, so musical performances or just theatrical performances of any kind, I'm like hella into. But no, this definitely took the cake. It was awesome. Actors and actresses were incredible. All of the set elements, the songs, the orchestra, I mean, all of it. 11 out of 10. Specifically, I really love how they conveyed and got across Eliza and her impact on the formation of our democracy. I think that was super important. I don't think it's something that they touch on enough in history books after I've kind of gone down a rabbit hole and just figured out more about who she was and what all she has done in her lifetime. And honestly, what a beautiful story of hers, and just a life and a life well lived, and a testament of strength and courage and honestly forgiveness. I mean, that man did her dirty multiple times, I'll tell you that. And I mean, she still rode or died for him. So, yeah, I thought that was really beautiful, and just girl power, girl boss, badass all around. Loved her. I think I have a very firm, not I think, I know, I have a very firm belief that if all history was taught in the same format that Hamilton has performed, I think our kids would probably be so much smarter, so much more engaged, and honestly memorize a lot more than they do now just reading out of a book or watching a movie in a coach's class. Shout out, Dad, love you. Sorry. um, but no, I think it's awesome. I mean, I remembered more historically from the songs, I think, than I did any other history class I've ever taken in my whole entire academic career. So, no, but I definitely am on a Hamilton kick right now. And no, shout out to all of my Hamilton loving friends that have told me for years that I need to watch it and get on that train. And I know I'm last aboard, but I made it. Here we are. But no, next day was great as well. We went and we saw all of the sights. I think personally for me, getting to see Buckingham Palace and just so many different places that make up most of my historical hyperfixation with the royal family in the UK. Everybody's got to be honest, they had several historical hyperfixations. Mine, just to be clear, were the UK and the royal family, Elvis, and the pyramids and pharaohs. That was like the holy trinity for me as a kid. Got to sit at home and watch Kate and Will get married. My mom, this trip gave me, a lot of room to reflect and reminisce on just like the magic that my parents and my mom, even more specifically, created for me as far as that goes. She did the whole cute hat thing. I had finger sandwiches. I had tea. And she let me stay home from school that day, even though I wasn't sick or dying. And that's normally, the only stipulation that is to be had in terms of the argument of whether or not I'm going to school. So shout out, Mom. But no, it was awesome too, because we got to actually tour Buckingham Palace a few days into our trip, and the second to last day we were there actually. And they only allow tours 3 months out of the whole entire year because the royal family goes away to Scotland for summer vacation, I believe. And just getting to like see so much of a place that is just so rich in history, and honestly really puts into perspective how young our country is. It was just really cool. Like, I got to walk in the same place where so many kings and queens and princes and princesses and, huge historical figures, whether it be, people that made world peace more possible, or just big people in international governments and celebrities. I mean, Princess Diana, cannot talk in this episode about London without talking about my girl. It just was super special to me, and it's something I'll always cherish. And also just being able to share this experience with Carson, not to sound chuggy, it just was really cool, and I will always remember it, and I can't wait to go back. But no, so cool. 10 out of 10 recommend going around this time of year if you're going to go, so you can tour Buckingham Palace, because like seeing the portraits of, Queen Elizabeth and, Kate and Will, their wedding portrait, and seeing the throne room, and just all of it was awesome. But man, y'all, you can't take pictures in that place. But at the end of that tour, did I stand in front of Camilla on my tiptoes and do my best to cover up her face? Hell yeah, I did. I'm a Camilla hater till I die. Sorry, Queen. She is a queen, actually, but she, by law, and coronation, she's the queen, but not in my eyes. Princess Diana's supremacy till I die. So, no, all jokes aside, it was really cool, great experience. The grounds were awesome. Seeing all of the guards and just, the historical elements as far as architecture and art goes in the place. It was just sick. I can imagine those kiddos probably play some cool games of hide and seek and have awesome Nerf wars for sure. So, I'm sure they don't do that. There's no way that's allowed, but I think they should be allowed to. But yeah, got to do Buckingham Palace tour. Obviously saw Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, the London Eye, all the typical places. Took our photo in front of the phone booth, of course, of course. Made Carson do the One Thing by One Direction dance routine. I'm not sure exactly his could be considered dancing. It was more of barely moving his arms and stepping side to side, but he did his best. I got to give it to him. Took a lot of begging, but I digress. He did it for me, so thanks. Yeah, I got to relive my One Direction favorite moments, so that was super cool. The double-decker buses, man, whenever you're on the second deck, or the top deck of those, and the guy's driving on the road, I mean, you feel like you're either about to hit someone or you're an inch away from it. I mean, made me a little anxious, honestly, and just even pondering the idea of having to drive on the opposite side of the vehicle, on the opposite side of the road. Woof. Just a little bit scary to me. But what else did we do? It's so crazy because so much obviously has happened since we've gotten home. So retrospectively, I'm trying to piece it all together. Oh my God, how have I not even talked about this yet? Coldplay. I have no words, yet I have infinite words all at once. It was the best concert I will ever go to. Okay, well, Beyonce and Jay-Z with my Uncle Brock and my cousin Maddie, honestly, it measures up pretty good. But as far as just, sentiment and nostalgia, just the meaning behind all of the songs and just all of the elements that they include in it, whether it be, confetti and fireworks or just all of the messages that Chris Martin shares during their performances were just really beautiful. And obviously these are songs that I have grown up on. I've talked about Coldplay probably a lot on here, I feel like. But no, it just incredible getting to sing along and see a stadium. Wembley is huge. See a stadium full of people that know the lyrics to every single song and hearing Viva La Vida and people sing the part. Yeah, just it was echoing and it was electric in there. Like it felt like a religious experience for me personally. And I think I can speak for Carson as well when it comes to the religious experience part. It was incredible. Just they're such a good band. Just, performance wise and also just as people, you can just tell they really are the cream of the crop and just put so much effort and time into their performances and just connecting with their fans. And also the sustainability aspect of the concert. Like they had these wristbands that lit up and were engineered to light up specifically for whatever area you were in. I'll have to show some pictures, but just absolutely insane. They were made out of recycled something, and then all the electricity in that arena for their concert specifically, I believe, was generated by bicycles, which I know sounds psychotic, but that was one of the things that I kept reading up on the screen that they were showing. Like they generated the electricity themselves. And we're trying to reduce CO2 emissions and all that good stuff. So green thumbs up for Coldplay. But no, seriously, the most awesome and amazing concert ever. I'm so glad that we went. That was great. And then food was amazing. I used to be a D1 Indian food hater. I think I had it one time and it just was not good at all. But this time around, it amazing. If you go to London, go to Dishoom. People say oh my gosh, it's so overrated. I saw so many people commenting on TikTok saying that, but it's consistently good is the feedback I got across the board. And the queue, the line, whatever you call it, was so long. I mean, and it's long all day long is what they were telling us. So, no, it was incredible. Got to have, the classic Sunday roast, and also I had some sausage dish on mashed potatoes with red cabbage. I liked it better than I liked the Sunday roast, but I don't know if we went to a great place for a Sunday roast. So, I don't know. Next time definitely we'll have to do high tea. Didn't get to do that this time around, but that's totally okay. Got to see some of the places where Ted Lasso was filmed. That was sick. Got to go to Notting Hill, see where Notting Hill the movie was filmed, which was super cool as well. Their public transportation's incredible, and I know it's ironic I'm saying this because if any of you keep up with the news, there's a huge tube strike going on over there. It's like their subway, and it started, I think, the last 2 days of our trip. So the last couple of days of our trip, as far as the buses went, were kind of a nightmare. But in every other aspect, not too bad at all. It was super, it was great, cost efficient. And honestly, like, if you don't have a car over there, you don't really need one. So, or at least I guess if you live in London and you stay pretty local. So, no, it was incredible though. Really enjoyed it. I loved all of the museums, whether it be history or art. Most of them were free, if not all. I feel like just in general, they make the arts and the history of their country more accessible to people over there, which I think is super cool. Or just the display of it. Obviously people have phones and endless amount of resources as far as the internet goes, but just, the artwork and, dinosaur remains and stuff like that, and just the architecture and seeing so much of their art and their appreciation for the arts in general was just really cool. I really enjoyed that as well. Also, I love the accents, love them, and especially when it's children. Like, it makes it so much better. It was funny, and this is like one of my favorite stories to tell. So Tess and Tate, when they were little, were obsessed with Peppa Pig. Like, probably watched it, like binged watched it like nobody's business. Probably should not have watched as much of it as they did. To the point where they actually started developing British accents. I specifically remember it with Tate. Tess would do it too. Tess was big on the snorts, and I think Tate was big on the British accent. But no, I'm telling you, British little kids and toddlers talking, I would sit there and eavesdrop on every conversation if there was a toddler present just because I wanted to hear them talk because it was so damn cute. I mean, I don't know how cute a tantrum would be with a British accent. I don't know how cute a tantrum period from any toddler is, but it's not. But no, just in general, the language, the language and development of said language in the accent that they have is just, it's priceless. Another thing I noticed over there that differs from America is so many of their dogs are off leash, no matter where you go, like park, public streets. I mean, all the streets are pretty much public, but just streets, most of them are off leash, which I thought was incredible. Like, all of their dogs are so well trained, and if they strayed off a little bit, they would call them back over and they'd run back over and fall back in line. It was crazy. Also, there were very few breeds of dogs that I saw greyhounds. Those are pretty ugly. I'm sorry if you have one. Saw a lot of spaniels, saw a lot of Irish setters, saw a couple labs, but no, mostly purebred. Schnauzers, wiener dogs, dachshunds, a lot of purebreds specifically, but the craziest happening of all when it comes to dogs. So we were walking around Hyde Park, and I can't remember what exactly the statue or the memorial was called. It was for Queen Victoria's husband, I think, King something. They erect them when they die, and they're gold and just huge and massive. Anyways, there's this huge tour happening with, I kid you not, like 60 corgis. I have never seen so many corgis in my entire existence. It was insane. And to top it all off, most of them were wearing costumes. Like there was one that was wearing a court jester costume, one that was wearing a king costume, a queen costume, a British flag cape. I mean, just they went hard in the paint. Like it was impressive. Carson and I were just absolutely floored. I loved it. Got to see Kensington Palace, which was super special. Obviously, that's where Princess Diana lived. Not obviously, but obvious to me because I'm obsessed with her. But got to see her memorial that Prince Harry and Prince Harry and Prince William created or had done in honor of her, where she's standing with two children that I believe are them. But it was so beautiful and very, very special to me. She's one of the many women I look up to that have existed historically, and she's just, I think, an incredible testament to grace and acceptance and kindness, and just really, really the people's princess and the queen of everyone's hearts whenever she was alive. And so just, that was really beautiful and special to me to be able to witness and see. And Carson took my picture in front of it, and he definitely knew too how special it was to me. The parks were really cool for sure. I got my steps, and I closed my move ring, my fitness thing, probably 3 times over every day. Felt like the most walking I'd ever done in my life, but you don't even realize you're walking that much because you're just seeing so many cool things. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It was amazing. And then I think that about covers it as far as London goes. Oh yeah, I did get to see Abbey Studios as well on Abbey Road, the famous location where the Beatles walk across the street and it's their album cover. That was really cool because a bunch of artists that I didn't even know, had recorded there. I found out that they had recorded there. So Oasis, Pink Floyd, Frank Ocean, some more modern day ones, Amy Winehouse, which was also really cool. Also, all of the food markets were really great too, with all the little shops and stuff. So Camden Market, Borough Market, had the best sandwich of my life in Borough Market. It's the one that's TikTok viral. And then of course had to get some of the strawberries with just insane amount of chocolate drizzled all over the top. We went hard in the paint on those, went to town. They were probably demolished in about 5 seconds. I don't even know. But, yeah, really grateful that we got to have that experience and go and see all the things. But we came home and obviously things started to occur. Snowball effect into a shit show, which that feels, honestly, the snowballing effect of shit shows has felt kind of ongoing within the past few months, and honestly past few years. It's just been a lot of things that shouldn't be happening are happening. First and foremost, I want to take accountability and recognize that I feel like I definitely should have started speaking on this sooner, and when it actually happens in real time, and B, just establish that I want to create space and shed light on every act of gun violence and political violence, and just in general talk about those things and open some positive dialogue about ways that we can find solutions to put an end to those things. For instance, we have the Minnesota House Speaker and her husband and golden retriever, who were all 3 killed by an armed assassin in their home, which was devastating. And that wasn't seen in the media a lot. And school shootings are happening left and right. It's another day, another school shooting, and it's horrible. It's horrible. It's to the point where they don't even get as much airtime anymore because it's just such a frequent happening. And then, of course, we have the tragic death of political podcaster and commentator Charlie Kirk. It's awful, and regardless of what way you swing as far as the aisle goes or the spectrum goes with politics, I think everyone can recognize that never is that okay in any instance at all. Never should it be celebrated, and never should we just accept it and move on. It's something that's needed more attention and a lot long ago as far as, accessibility to certain firearms and mental health crises and just all of the things. It's something that everyone should be paying attention to always, and especially our lawmakers and our legislators that actually can put those changes into place. And I mean, we the people too. I mean, this is a democracy and it's supposed to be a democracy. So your legislators and lawmakers, whether it be on the state level, local level, national level, are supposed to represent the interests and the ideals of the people. And I'd like to see that done a little bit more. I have so much sympathy for Charlie's family and his children and his friends, loved ones, and people that admired him. It's horrible. It's horrible. And, free speech is something that's really important to me. I mean, I'm trying to develop my own platform where I'm able to withhold that right and use it to the best of my ability. And it's never okay. I never really agreed with the guy on a lot of things. I'll be so honest, but I don't think I don't wish death on anyone, and I don't think anyone deserves to go out like that. I don't think that represents the morals, that it doesn't represent the morals and values that our country were founded upon, and morals and values that I hold near and dear to my heart. It's not right. It's never okay. And we should condemn every single act of political violence, gun violence, and violence in general that occurs in our country. And I really hope that this creates more conversation on ways that we can, organize effective change and bring solutions to the table that will put an end to this, or at least reduce it, because too many of our students, children, teens, teachers, just political commentators, legislators, I mean, everybody, A to Z, so many innocent people are lost to gun violence. It's horrible. It's awful. It's not okay. And my friend Diana created a post, and it was great, and I reposted it, and I know a lot of you guys had seen it because I reposted it on the Y'all Heard Instagram account. But going after the innocent does not make you a martyr. It makes you a sociopath. It is not okay. And I pray that we can recognize, that I've never been one that's been so anti-Second Amendment. I've grown up in a place where the Second Amendment has, been super, super present and important to a lot of people. I understand why it's put into place, but I also think that people are weaponizing it to the nth degree, and I don't think that's okay. I don't think people that are unstable in various facets should have access to what they have access to as far as it comes to firearms. And I think we definitely need a lot. I know we need a lot more due diligence done when it comes to just handing these out like candy. Like, it's just not okay. And also too, obviously, yes, it's a mental health crisis for sure. I agree with that 100%. But also, we have to quit voting for people or voting for things that are cutting our mental health programs and the resources that are provided in communities and schools that hopefully would prevent said tragedies like the ones that have been occurring recently. I mean, you have the death of a big political commentator due to gun violence and another school shooting happen all in the same day. And if that's not a wake-up call, then I don't know what the hell is at this rate. I mean, It's horrible. But I know it's a very dark time for our country right now, but we cannot, and I repeat, not lean into the rhetoric and the desired response from the people that, are just trying to stir shit up and divide us. Like, we cannot lean into that. It's not okay. We can't keep pointing fingers at each other. We've got to come together and figure out, how do we stop this? It's not going to stop all on its own. It's not. And like I said, posted this on my Instagram story. I love that this is a time where people are feeling empowered and wanting to share their thoughts, feelings, beliefs as far as religion goes, scripture. But one of the scriptures that I feel like that's super important to keep in mind during this time is James 2:17, and that's faith without works is dead. I think thoughts and prayers are so incredibly important, but I also think that sustainable and effective change that's tangible in this time is so important. Just as important, if not more. Like, that's the point where we're at. Like, we have got to put an end to all this shit, because we're going down a spiral and we're going further and further and further down. And if we can't all collectively come together and put a stop to it, united we stand, divided we fall. Like, and we're falling apart bad. Like, it's outrageous. But yeah, just shorter episode today. Just wanted to drop some thoughts as far as all of the happenings of late have gone. I feel it heavy. I know all of you feel it heavy. And I also just want to touch on, take some breaks from your phone. God, I tear up even thinking about it. Like, all within a 7-day period, I saw a woman stabbed, a man shot in the neck, and then someone else beheaded. Like, and on X too. I think the lack of censorship is crazy. Our brains are not hardwired to process traumatic events like that whenever we're seeing them, regardless of if it's right in front of your face or via your phone. We're not hardwired that way. We're not. And it is traumatic and it's terrible. So take breaks and, do what you need to do for your mental health and well-being. And just, I think it's so important right now that we channel all of this outrage and sadness and anger and all of the questions and frustration that we have into making the changes that need to be made and changing the trajectory that we're currently set on. But yeah, seriously, please take care of yourself. Everyone take care of themselves. And next week, looking forward to the episode. Hopefully we'll be back in the studio. If not, totally cool. Just bear with me, because we're moving on to bigger and better, and hopefully going to continue to grow in the direction we want to grow in here at Y'all Heard Podcast. So, as always, like, subscribe, share, and yeah, thanks for joining today.